Hi, I'm Lars. I'm transmission engineer for PPC-1, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of our favorite subjects, which is cleaning fiber optics. Now, critical to us in our operations of this network is to ensure that all of our optics are clean. The reason for this is because on some of our equipment, well, as you know, we don't transmit small rates like STM1s and STM16 cross undersea fibers. We transmit wavelengths that are 10 gig. With that, a lot of our power sometimes, our power levels can be up to 13, 14 dBm. So the signal can be quite hot. The result for that is that we have to ensure that we have very, very clean optics. If we don't, we can have problems such as signal degradation, which eventually can lead to a loss of signal. In addition to that, contaminated optics or contaminated fiber connection can also cause problems such as pitted fibers when you have a hot signal and it ends up burning the core of the fiber. So for us, it's very, very critical that we keep our fibers clean all the time and follow certain standards whenever we disconnect and reconnect fibers, that we inspect these fibers closely to make sure there's absolutely no contamination. Now, some of the types of things we use are, number one, it's a cleat-top reel. It's basically a little cloth thing in here, like it looks like this, and it leaves no particles, or it has no cotton, anything like that in it, and you rub your fiber connector tip across that, and it cleans the fiber connector. We also use, if this doesn't work and we're having a hard time getting that contamination out, we use what we call a dry wipe, which is a Kim wipe. We'll use this sometimes, and when it's a little bit, the dirt's on there, caked on a little bit, we can't get it off, we'll use that. If it's really, really severe contamination, the next step we'll use is what we call a wet wipe, which is an alcohol wipe. This is very pure alcohol. It has no contaminant in it so that it doesn't recontaminate the fiber end. And we'll clean it with this, and then we'll turn around and follow it again with the cleat top to dry it off. And usually those three steps will work. If we can't get the contamination off after that, obviously we replace the fiber. The other piece of equipment that we use here is a Westover scope that we plug our fibers into. The type of equipment we use for inspecting our fibers always uses an image like this that projects it onto a screen. We never look directly at our fibers for the very simple reason that because of the high powers, if we look directly into a fiber with some type of a scope, we could burn our eyes out. So that's something we don't do. We're very, very safe about that. We use equipment like this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a fiber connector here. This fiber connector is what's known as an LC-APC. LC is the type of connector, which is a small little square, and APC is known as an angled polished connector, which means that the connector end of the fiber, if you were to look at really big, would be angled like this instead of straight. The reason we use that is you get a little bit less loss when you use an angled connector. So what we do is we turn on our little fiber scope here, and you can see the screen here is on. So we just plug our fiber connector here, and we come up, and you can see now that this fiber is contaminated. You see the core here, that's the core where the light actually goes through. This is the cladding. Now, while no light goes through this area, it's always important that we make sure we get the entire surface clean. The reason being is that over time, these particles of dust and contamination will migrate in towards the core. And if that happens, you end up having problems with your signal again. So we want to make sure we get all of those clean. So following our procedures, we pull this back out, use our cleat top, come up here, put the fiber in, turn it, pull. Turn it, pull. Put back in the scope. And you can see now we have a very nice clean fiber. So this fiber now passes inspection and we can connect it up to equipment. Now I'm sure all of you have seen some people or heard of some people say, oh yeah, we can just clean fibers by rubbing it on our shirt or on our skin. Well, let me tell you, you can't do that. So you see now that that was a clean fiber. So let me show you what happens when you go like this with your fiber. I just rubbed it twice on my arm. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Oh boy, look at that. See all those striations? That's all oil that comes off your skin. So whenever you clean fibers, if any of you ever get a job working in an industry where you're actually working as a tech or working around transmission equipment, never clean fibers on your arm or on your shirts. Always follow proper procedures. So now we've got to get this fiber clean again. So what we do is put this back up here, grab our clean top reel, turn, pull, turn, and the fiber back into our inspection probe. And you can see our fiber is nice and clean again. So that's the procedures we follow. We do that every time we pull a fiber out. We do that every time we connect the fiber. We also inspect inside of our circuit packs, inside the barrels of our circuit packs to make sure there's no contamination at any point in the fiber. So that's it for today. As I get further along in our testing, I will again show you some more things that we do to give you an idea of what we go through here on a daily basis. Thanks.